Hi everybody. This video is going to be about the week 2 journal assignment for LIB 101. So this week you are reading Agamemnon and Medea, not to be confused with Medea, the unfortunate movies where they dress a man up as a woman and comedy ensues. So this week you're going to be writing about love. And so make sure that you focus on the readings for the week. And so if you look at paragraph 2 here, it says the journal assignment explores the universal theme of love and the emotions of those wronged in love. Using your imagination, write a letter to one of the 3 ancient Greek poets we read this week. The tragic poets Aeschylus and Euripides, or the lyric poet Sappho. In your letter, correspond with the poets about their attitudes on love. Be sure to cite specific lines from the poem to focus your comments. The 2 readings that you have. See the week 1 resources tab for more information on how to cite sources. You might also suggest ways that the tragedians could have averted the tragic outcomes that resulted from love gone wrong by changing one of the characters' behavior, or you might converse with Sappho about her expressions to Aphrodite, the goddess of love. You may also bring in your own experiences with love, but remember to keep a balance in the discussion of the literature and the relevant personal experience. Okay, so what you need to do is write a letter. So it's fine to be creative in this. You can use first person, I, and then just start the letter like, Dear Euripides, or Dear Aeschylus, and then you'll write about their conception of love. So let's take Agamemnon, right, for example. So Agamemnon goes away to the Trojan War, and he does something that's really bad. I'm not going to say what he does because I want you to read it. And that's the whole point of Clytemnestra essentially taking revenge. So what you'll see there is that Agamemnon does something, and then he comes back from the war, and his wife Clytemnestra is getting together with Aegisthus while Agamemnon is gone, and then ultimately something happens that basically brings everything together, and I'll let you get to that on your own. In the case of Medea, we have a similar lover scorned by the husband. Jason, in this case, does something to basically break the bonds of marriage with Medea. And then Medea does an even worse thing, I would say, a horrific thing, in order to take revenge on Jason. And so in both of these cases, we have these really extreme forms of love. Now, one thing you could claim that the person that either Euripides or Aeschylus is writing from their perspective of love, or you might claim that actually their conception of love is different from what we see here, and actually they're writing these plays essentially to critique a form of this really extreme form of love that would end up in these very tragic and vengeful outcomes. So you might think to yourself, well, Euripides, your conception of love is perverted, or it's messed up because you have this character do these things. I'm trying not to give it away, but you have Medea do these horrible things. Now, let's not let Jason off the hook either, right? Jason basically gets together with a younger woman. He frames it as building a relationship with this other king, but of course we know that men throughout history have framed things these ways to try to justify their own behavior. And but you might be tempted to say, Euripides, your conception of love is wrong because people who really aren't in love wouldn't do this. But I would challenge you to take a different perspective. Maybe Aeschylus and Euripides are writing these to show what love is not. Maybe they're writing these to show us the dangers of extreme forms of love And also writing this to show us the dangers of the things, the evil that men can do to women. It might not be the initial way that you see things. But anyway, you can choose either way. You're going to be graded based on the content of your writing. I don't care if you what you believe about their conception of love. What I care about is you showing me that conception of love. A couple things to remember. Always abide by minimum expectations in terms of page count and word count. Here, this is a 2 to 3 page paper. And then the second thing is make sure that you're bringing in the quotes. So if you claim that Euripides or Aeschylus thinks this about love, make sure that you bring in the quotes from their writings that demonstrate the attributes of love that you're claiming that they're showing. So if you just say general comments about what they believe in general overview of their work, then that's an okay paper. But the generality doesn't let me see that you've actually done the reading. It doesn't let me see that you actually can dig in and kind of tease out to mine all of these beliefs that the authors might have. And the deeper you go into it, you might find various conceptions of love. You will find various conceptions of love in both of the writings. So anyway, that's a little bit about how to approach the week 2 journal. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at the phone number or email in the classroom.